Is it officially time to get a little bit concerned about the status of Nick Bosa's contract extension with the San Francisco 49ers? As you already know, Nick Bosa is not reporting to training camp just yet, and we don't know what the current status is of the San Francisco 49ers and Nick Bosa's camp, other than the fact that they have not come to agreement just yet. But listen to what John Lynch had to say about the situation, and we'll discuss why or why not a concern is up for debate. Listen into what he had to say right here.
Is our first kind of event as a team. That will be our conditioning test, our tempo run, as we call it. And, I've seen various players, have not seen Nick. And, I would expect he's not here to start off. We're working. We're having really good communication with Brian Aralt. He's got good, competent, and people we have an immense amount of respect for, working for him, and we're working diligently to try to come to an agreement. I think the challenge is you're talking about a real special player. You're talking about one of the better players in the league. You could argue that could simplify things, but I think at times it's just finding that sweet spot and where the right spot. And we're committed to working towards that. Just spoke with Brian this morning. We're also committed. You guys might have heard Mike Brown today. We're going to keep things private. I always appreciated that as a player. I feel like there's some sanctity to those things. You don't want everything being aired out. And so we've agreed with Brian and Nick to keep our dealings private. So I think that's the extent of what I'll say. And when there's updates, we'll give them to you.
So that is John Lynch on, of course, Nick Bosa's status in regards to his contract extension. Obviously, it's ongoing. Nick Bosa will appear to miss training camp as today is technically the first day, but tomorrow's the first day on the field in team drills and things like that. So it doesn't sound like Nick Bosa will be available. And the question was, is it time to be concerned, or is there any room to be concerned? My personal opinion on this matter is no, it's not time to be concerned. I think with this situation, we understand it to be fluid. We know that John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan have talked highly about Nick Bosa for the entirety of his time with the San Francisco 49ers. They've always talked about it as a basically like a matter of fact dealing that Nick Bosa will get signed. And they've talked about that for a long time. So, what changes? Why the delay? We know what the deadline is. The kind of imaginary deadline is training camp. So they've hit it, and obviously they have the ability to go over it and work things out. But the clock is now officially ticking. So, is there room for concern that it's dragging out? I don't think so. I really don't think it's going to be much of an issue. Obviously, you heard that they're trying to find that sweet spot in a contract that makes sense for both the team and Nick Bosa. We've seen the San Francisco 49ers are willing to pay their players. It might take some time. That might be a common theme. It takes some time to get the deal done. But outside that, we have for the most part seen the team willing to pay. So I'm not concerned. I think Nick Bosa will get signed within the next week or so. You remember Debo Samuel took a while to get him signed, and considering all the things that process went through last season, I'm ultimately not concerned. Again, it's more to me of a matter of when it happens, not if it happens. I believe 100% Nick Bosa will get a contract extension by the San Francisco 49ers, making him the highest paid defensive player in NFL history. I think that will happen. It's just a matter of when it will happen. I don't know that, but I'm not concerned. As Fred Warner talked about, Nick Bosa, out of anyone on the team, is the least to be worried about in regards to being in shape and being conditioned, ready to go for training camp. Nick Bosa is kind of like a robot in that regard and is meticulous in his offseason training. He is in shape. He's ready to go for the NFL season. They just got to work through these details. Hopefully, it happens soon. But again, you let me know. Are you concerned about Nick Bosa potentially dragging this on into the preseason? Dare I say into the season? I don't think it comes to that. But you let me know how you're feeling about this in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.